There ain't no party like a penultimate party.
Oh.
No one says that. And there ain't no penultimate party like the one we're about to have on this show, our second to last episode together. Nothing says penultimate like Danny's background right now. This is why we need people to be on Twitch. Like, Danny has clearly upgraded his life.
This is my new bedroom.
That looks so fancy.
I will be taking no questions.
I love how many chairs are in your bedroom.
I prefer tables, circular tables over beds.
Oh, my ex did too. Dog bed.
No. Okay, we can just stop talking about my room now. Then
That was so well placed. As if it's your room that's the issue here, Danny. My room makes me uncomfortable. Can we change the topic from my room to something else? Wow. What an enjoyable crew. I was just telling everybody here before we went live here that I'm going to miss y'all. I have been in a reflective space, obviously, as I think about your characters and as I think about you. And how we've been doing this for like 10 months or something. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all are crazy. Why did you do this? Who made you do this? Who did this to you?
Justin had me sign a contract.
Icky. I probably definitely wrote that contract too, so definitely a part of the icky here.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
Double whammy.
oh wow,
That's a plot twist.
Gus, you're muted.
I was just saying, I was unemployed at the time. I had free time, and that commitment slowly became not as easy as I wanted it to be.
Gus, did you not read like subsection 15A about how if your life circumstances change in the next 10 months, too bad?
Yeah,
I
it says
did
if
not
thou
know.
are unemployed at time of signing contract, thou shalt not find new employer. Did you not read that part?
I did not. I missed that. I missed the part that said Dustfire Media is employer pro bono.
What an interesting space of power to hold, to require someone to not find gainful income
I mean, that's why
while
the
not providing gainful income.
what is it? The FTC just banned non-competes for that specific reason. So great.
Oh,
Except weirdly in. Oh my God! Why is my brain not doing states right now? Detroit, Michigan. Weirdly in Michigan, they're still super enforceable.
oh, well, Detroit is kind of another country.
Oh, according to Justin, we also all owe him our firstborns.
Done and done.
Oh, Danny was so quick to be like, that was true before I signed anything.
That was years ago.
You'll be waiting a while for that, Justin. That's
Yeah.
might not happen.
Yeah, I can't promise any
Yeah.
children, to be clear. I haven't made
Man,
such
Justin's
promises
favorite.
to my biological families.
No.
Well, I think that we should jump in sooner than later, even though we have an extra hour that we've blocked out. We initially had this scheduled as our finale, and when we moved stuff around, we kept this as the longer session. We added another session coming up on Friday of this week, which is the 21st. You can join us for our finale. We'll be live for that as well. But tonight we have a little bit of extra space to try to decompress our lovely actors and their characters as we maybe put some bows on things, maybe don't. I don't want to promise that it's going to feel like we put bows on things. Who are we to
I like
promise that?
bows.
Right.
No,
Jingmin doesn't do
things will
bows.
happen. Wait. Boo. Boo.
There are so many
Bam.
t-shirt opportunities this year.
So many.
Jingmin
good
doesn't do bows. Picture of a bow, like a hair bow with like an X over it. Picture of like a Yuyan Archer bow with like a green check mark.
Yeah, what type of bow are we talking?
Yeah, Danny, was that an intentional double entendre?
When you said hair bow, my brain immediately went to the gummy bear, and I'm like, oh my god, that's another entendre right there. You didn't even realize.
So many entendres. Am I
So
using
many.
this? Is this a bastardization of French? Probably. I don't know.
Yes,
The French will recover, I'm sure.
it's fine.
I think they can handle it. The French
give
and the
up on-
British, as far as I'm concerned, are positioned for infinite mockery.
Yes.
So I don't know if we can ever overdo that. Well, my friends, let us jump in. Any thoughts from you, feelings, anything before we do? No pressure. Just want to leave space if there is anything you'd like to say.
I can't think of anything.
My mind is literally blank right now, so that's fun.
I'm excited to play to find out.
Yeah.
Very well.
I'm gonna throw so many curveballs at you, Steve. It's gonna be crazy.
That is
I'm
how
gonna-
the game is played.
I'm gonna make these last 2 episodes so hard for you.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Hey,
I'm mostly
you know,
kidding.
I can't stop you.
Ingrid is just
can't.
gonna shoot random people.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start killing off main NPCs. Start killing off
Jimin's
essential
like-
NPCs.
How old is this NPC? I'd kill him.
I'm gonna lock us on
Shoot
the
a bow
quest
and arrow.
lines.
I just want an infographic with like the decision tree, like a flow chart of like, are they old enough for me to kill them? Did they do something to bother me? But like all of the charts make it back to yes.
Yes.
Regardless.
There are always a lot more pros than cons.
Are they an orphan? Yes. Murder.
No.
Are they not an
No.
orphan? No.
Yes.
Are they something? No. Murder. Like it all just goes back to
Yeah.
murder, no matter what.
Am I sure that I'm sure? If not, murder.
Murder.
If unsure, fire bow.
Instead of Jingnan being what is it? A raccoon. It'll be instead murder hobo, it'll be a murder raccoon.
Murder raccoon.
Yeah, a new subgenre of role-playing murderers. Thank you, Danny, for your contributions to.
No, Jingmin is past that. She's past her murder raccoon phase. Her
Oh.
murder raccoon era.
But she's
This
still a
is
raccoon,
news.
right?
She's mostly past it.
We have 2 episodes to see how true that landing is for your character arc.
I may have just lied to your faces. You'll never know.
Well,
Yes, you will know. You will know. You will know.
hopefully so.
You just stated that you will in fact know.
A bit of housekeeping as we jump in. Firstly, if you have not yet, you may clear all fatigue. You have had good provisions and a secure place to sleep for multiple nights leading up to this ascension ceremony of Taogasha. You may also recenter yourselves on your balance track to whatever your center is, if you think that that is appropriate to the way that your character has used this time to decompress, find themselves, so to speak. Is anyone choosing not to do that? Just curious. Oh, yeah? Gus?
I will not be recentering. I will stay at +2 to results.
Okay. Okay.
I think Jingmin will also not be recentering either.
Okay. How far from center are you?
Let me see. Wait a second. Yes. So I was. So my center was changed at some point throughout this campaign to +1 community,
Mm-hmm.
and I
You
was
fell off of your
Yeah.
track towards community.
and I was 1 towards. Oh, that's why. Yeah, and I was 1 towards excellence. So I was at 0, across the board. But
Mm-hmm.
I think personally, until Jingmin has a little talk with Lynn, that she won't. I don't feel comfortable recentering her.
Okay.
I think there needs to be some apologizing on Jingmin's part.
I love it. I think it's totally appropriate. And Danny, do you
GMing
realize as you say this that you, until that is shifted to center, you would not be able to cash in a moment of balance in our last
I know.
two episodes.
I realized that. I realized that.
Wow. Way to follow your principles in real life,
Yeah.
Danny. That's excellent.
Playing
Respect.
this character is like babysitting like your least favorite niece or nephew.
Mm. Mm.
Your least
Felt that.
favorite.
All right. Well,
For the record, that's Janine. That's my least favorite niece and or nephew that I just made up.
Okay.
That I made up.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Danny's look of shock.
Don't
listen to this, Janine.
I mean, listen, I have a least favorite nephew, but we don't have to share his name. It's an acceptable thing to have, guys, I promise.
This is my least favorite nephew, and now I will proceed to dox them.
You can call them at 555-555-55555.
How did you know my phone
There's
number?
a
Gus, how
Oh
did
my
you
God.
get that? Gus,
Guys,
well, if that was your phone number, the life you would have, the nonsense calls you would get.
the life I do have with that phone number, Steve.
I can't tell you you're wrong, and I actually can't fact check you well because I can't call U.S. numbers directly except on Skype. So I suppose that after this, I could try to spend money on Skype to call the fives number.
What a
Oh my God.
As they call
that's certainly the most foolproof way to test this. I agree.
Oh, I do not like trying to make phone calls on Skype.
I can only
It is awkward.
yeah, that sounds odd. I haven't used Skype in years.
They drop
This
the
is the
ball.
only reason I still do. Making calls to the U.S.
Fair. Fair.
Well, I feel like there were at least 2 funny things I wanted to ask about things that recently happened. Now I lost them. Thanks, brain.
No.
And my meds have worn off at this hour, but it's all right. ADD is where the magic happens.
I feel that.
Another
Agreed.
mechanical check-in. We decided that we would have one last opportunity for growth and advancement before we jump in to these last 2 episodes. And so I've told my players to answer questions offline based on what they think is the case. And so, my friends, what advancements did you take, if any?
Mook has no advancement happening.
Okay.
He was
Lynn
just shy
has.
by one point.
Hmm.
Oh, it's so sad.
I
I
know.
know.
Lynn has shifter balance. So now we are at -1 risk.
Okay, so that's your new center.
Mhm.
And so you are even less risky, is that right?
I'm even more risky.
So your bounce
Whoa.
is at +1 risk.
No, my balance is at
-1
-1
stability?
risk.
Oh, it was. I see. You're moving
Thanks.
towards risk, and you were previously at -2,
Yeah.
and now you have mustered the courage to be at -1.
Yeah.
I love it
this
'cause it
for
means-
Lynn.
Because
It's
Lynn
the most
just
Lynn
isn't
thing
risky
ever.
at their core, but
We've moved just a Just a little bit.
Yeah,
That
it's
is
fine.
so fitting.
Baby steps towards risk.
That's what Avatar
Yeah.
Legends is about.
Baby
It's all about
steps.
growth.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Any
Jingmin
thoughts?
got. Oh,
Mhm.
sorry.
Jingmin found God. Is that what he said?
Jingmin found God.
Is that what he said?
Finally. No, we were about to hear Jingmin got, I think, with a T.
We're gonna open this episode. We're gonna see Jingmin wearing dress pants, a white button down, and a tie, holding a book.
Yes.
That is terrifying.
Yeah,
stop.
that is.
No,
Have you heard about our Lord and Savior, the bow and arrow?
the bow and arrow.
If they don't decide to join Jingmin's sect, then she will shoot them.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
No, no.
Oh.
I was gonna say Jingmin got an advancement, and I just chose one of the prodigy's moves, judging a rival. It
What does
reads
that
when you
do?
size. Yeah, it reads when you size someone up, roll with focus. On a 7 to 9, ask 1. On a 10 plus, ask 2. And the questions are as follows: what are your weaknesses / strengths? How can I show you dominance or submission? What do you intend to do next? What do you wish I do right now? And on a miss, they notice you watching them, and they may ask you one question from the list instead.
Hmm.
So it's just a fun little. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll end up using it these last episodes. Maybe I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
it's
like
fun
that.
little goofy little guy. I like it.
Maybe I'll find some kooky little yellow-eyed weirdo to size up. You know, who knows?
Oh my god.
What an apt summary of a villain that I've created.
Kooky yellow-eyed weirdo.
Yeah.
I already have a Fumi nickname for him decided. We'll see if she uses it or not.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Oh,
Anyway,
if we don't
I-
get it on air, we have to get it afterwards, Nikki.
Okay, I will try my best. Anyway, I did take a growth and I decided to unlock my moment of balance.
Very
Yes.
exciting.
Oh, I have no idea what I'm doing with it, but this is gonna be fun. The last 2 episodes.
That is right. That's
Oh.
right.
Hell,
Hey.
We'll play to find out.
We will. We will. I mean, it's all there on the paper. Every playbook's got a different moment of balance. And when in doubt, just be like, I don't know what to do. Maybe this is a time for my moment of balance.
Yep, sounds accurate.
Well, last follow-up question then, before we jump in. Reputational nature. Nikki, you brought up a note that can change and that we can and should check in at ends of sessions about this. And we talked just before we went live. What did we decide would be an appropriate shift in your reputational nature for the foreseeable
Yeah.
future?
We shifted my nature from protector to leader. And as leader, I will mark renown when I resolve a real conflict, as well as wield my reputation on a plead.
That's right. There's a special bonus if you happen to plead, which is great for what we've been setting up for Fumi. We'll hopefully see that come into play tonight. But it also made sense after what you shared about kind of appealing to the airbenders who had listened to you recently and trying to resolve things that way. Wielding that reputation. Let's see what happens tonight, y'all. Without further ado, we open tonight on a sunny Republic City. For the first time in a long time, cheer is like in the air. Loud swing bands are playing with the Sungi horn and its distinctiveness kind of carrying the tune above everything else. Nude witches and other beloved foods of Republic City are served in mass. Children are laughing and playing. and you find yourselves on these bustling, market-packed streets that all feed into the Monument Plaza at the heart of Harmony Park in Republic City's Central District. I will say that you have already heard from the librarian on plans of action for interrupting this ceremony, but I will leave it to your characters, to you as players, what those plans exactly were. It's okay to do a little bit of planning on air, but we just don't want to get bogged down in it. So I'll ask in a moment, what we think the plan is for how to stop the ascendancy of Taugasha. But first, I just want to say that not everyone is in their positions or places yet. Both your crew and the wider group of the librarian's circle, the bookkeepers who work for her, and also the people on the stage for the ceremony. Not everything is quite ready yet, and so there's a little bit of time now, if you wish, to speak to each other. What do you say to each other, if anything?
I think we all just sit in a silence for a little bit. I don't. When's the last time we've all actually had a chance to just sit in quiet, the four of us?
After like a second of sitting in the quiet, Lynn goes, I don't like that. Can someone please say something? I'm like scared.
Don't you usually meditate?
Yeah, but not when all three of you are here. Like that makes it weird, you know?
Have you not done a group meditation?
No.
Oh, I thought everyone did those.
I think
You're a nomad.
that might be more of an airbender thing, but
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from.
I just learned how to meditate, so
Great job, Jingmin.
Do we want to do a group meditation? I feel like we haven't had enough time to just sit down all together since, waves at the general everything that has happened.
the city's on fire. If you guys want to do a group meditation, then I'll do one.
Fumi, do you want to lead us in this? Since
Okay,
you have the
sure.
most experience?
Are you okay with that, Lynn?
Yeah. Sure.
I wish I had suspicious mind.
Yeah, Fumi leads them into a group meditation. She just is the quiet voice that you hear on those meditation apps.
It's the calm app with
Fumi
Fumi.
ASMR right now.
Yep. And she is bending a very soft breeze around them, so it feels nice and comforting.
Oh,
Aww. Fumi, tell us a little more, is there anything that you focus on in this meditation, in the things that you say, or anything that you wish would happen as Fumi as a result of this?
Yeah, I would say that she's really instructing them, especially since Lynn is not used to doing it alone and Jingmin's not used to meditation, period. Just doing the basic instructions of clear your mind, and how to sit and all that. But she's also with this air trying to kind of in a way like you know how you have a calm breath during it, so making sure like their breath is like calming down and not labored or anxious.
Yeah. I wonder if this is one of those rare opportunities where it might make narrative sense to clear a marked condition. But
Would you say Fumi is guiding and comforting all of us?
I wonder if that's the move, you know? But like guiding and comforting all of you is like an interesting test of the versatility of this move. Push your luck. Push your luck.
PTL on a meditation.
Yeah, if she fails, we're all not meditating anymore.
Well, the
We
nice
all
thing with
marked
guide and
grief
comfort,
fatigue.
Oh god, no, not that.
the nice thing with guide and comfort is, no matter how good she rolls, we can always still choose to shut her down. So it's still reliant on the person on the receiving end of the guide and comfort as to the results of it. So I don't see why a guide and comfort for all three of us wouldn't work.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't have any
Yeah.
more conditions. It's not really affecting Jingmin in any way, but narratively,
Okay.
I think it's cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
I can't clear my condition with a guiding comfort. Never mind.
Oh, you have a condition that can't be cleared by that specifically?
Yeah, I like just looked it up as to what I have to do to clear it, and I have to either break something important.
Oh
or
no.
lash
So
out at a
guide and
friend.
comfort overrides that. It's just another way you can clear a condition.
Oh
Yeah.
never mind.
Yeah.
I can get
Unless
rid
you
of
have
that.
something that very specifically overrides that. And it's like, this can't be cleared by guide and comfort. You
Yeah.
must do a terrible thing. Okay. Well, let's see a roll with Harmony, Fumi.
All right. So I rolled a 6. Harmony's a 1, so that is a 7.
Oh,
Okay. A hit indeed. So everybody, you can each choose to either embrace Fumi's guidance and comfort, clearing a condition or 2 fatigue. You don't have fatigue left, so if you have an appropriate condition. And in that case, Nikki, as Fumi, can ask a question of that person, and they must answer honestly. Or you can shut down this effort on her part to have you clear your minds. What are you thinking?
I'm going to accept and clear my angry.
Okay. Well, what question would you like to ask Amuk, Fumi?
Ooh, it can be like anything?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Who here is the most dangerous threat?
Tell me honestly.
tell me everything.
What is the way out through? What is it? What's the way out? It
Just
through
ask
in?
all the assess a
Yeah,
situation
I'll-
Oh
questions.
my gosh. Mm.
That'd be really goofy to ask of another player the assess the situation questions. Not the GM.
Ask away.
Yeah. So as they all like, at least as well. Oh my gosh, I can't speak. As the mook settles into this, like Fumi can feel him calming down, and she's just like is keeping the same gentle tone, just like, Mook, do you feel ready for what we're about to face?
And Amuk, without even thinking, just says, "No, I'm genuinely a little scared for what we're about to do."
That's okay. I am too, really. But
There's just potentially a lot that could go wrong, and I'm worried about the three of you.
yeah. But that's why it's good we're back together again.
Yes.
Because it was really hard working without you and Lynn, but I don't know. I feel like now that we're all together that we can just accomplish anything.
Mook is just gonna like take a beat and just I think all of us together we can definitely make sure we'll be okay.
I'm curious, Gus, what this looks like for a mook to have this anger dissolve. Is there anything that the players might notice? And if not, how would you describe the internal workings?
I would say more than likely it's gonna be like a mook's shoulders. I have just that very clear like tension when someone loses that in their own shoulders. Like they finally kind of like drop down and sit the way that they should be versus the high tension shoulders he's been having for the last who knows how many sessions now.
The steam stops spewing from your ears.
Finally.
Finally. But I also think it's something as small as like he's not even really worried about making sure that mask stays with him anymore as much as it's just being left behind and just not actively picking it up anymore.
I like that. So as of right now, is the mask on his person?
No,
It's not. It's just back at the base.
it's just back at the base in one of the rooms. Not even anywhere specific. It's just like I put it down. We'll get it when we get it.
Yeah. For all you know, a kid is just playing with it. Doesn't know at all what it is.
I'm not sure we want a kid playing with that.
Don't touch
It's a powerful relic. Don't do that.
What about Lynn and Cloth?
What I hate is there's no like humoring it option. Like
There's no like in
Could be the
between.
flavor of, like
right, because like it's not like Lynn is shutting down Fumi, but Lynn is just playing along. Like it's just kind of like going through the motions until we can do something that allows her to not have so many loud thoughts. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So I think like mechanically it is like embracing guidance and comfort, but fictionally it's just she's just kind of sitting there breathing, being a little anxious.
Yeah. It's like you would have to mark a condition now instead of unmarking one.
Right. Like
You mark anxiety.
right, like where's that condition?
We do have troubled. We have insecure, we have afraid, but I don't know if those cover the bases for you. Not saying you need to mark one. Do you think that you are clearing one?
No. Like that's kind of the thing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's not
Yeah.
strong enough to clear one. I don't have any, right? But in the hypothetical that I did,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would be like a strong enough for that.
Mhm.
I'd even say it isn't strong enough to clear any fatigue.
Oh wow. Okay.
Like it's just kind of sitting there. It's not like a snapping back or anything that would require like Fui marking like a shift in her balance or anything. But like
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a
Do you
very
think you'd accept? Sorry.
Sorry.
Do you think
Danny?
you'd accept the question from Fumi though, as a part of the embrace choice?
Yeah, I think we'd accept the question.
Ask
Okay.
her something
I'm-
good.
I'm glad
Can
because you must.
Can I wait to hear what Jingmin's answer is going to be on that before I ask the
Oh.
question?
Oh.
An answer. Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
I think I might want to do this in a certain order. I just want to take a moment
Sure.
to process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
So I'm just gonna cut to the chase. Jingmin's shutting you down. She
Oh, we got the full
said-
spectrum.
she said, if you guys want to meditate, I'll meditate. And that was solely to shut all you guys up so she can continue like getting her strings ready and just like, you know, getting like her arrowheads and everything and start
Poisoning
preparing for this.
arrows.
And Fumi, you can definitely see this. Like she's not just sitting there meditating, she's like preparing her weapons and like just getting ready while sitting. Every now and then she'll look around to make sure everyone's closing their eyes still.
Oh my gosh.
And so it does say that I get to inflict a condition on you. So I think whatever you think is most appropriate as to how Fumi like reacts to this.
Ooh, that's hard because it's like I don't think that she would be like angry or anything. It's more like almost sad, but there's not something here for that.
Oh.
So
Well, there's
think
there's
either
insecure.
insecure, yeah, I think either
Yeah.
insecure or troubled. I think we'll go with Oh, geez, that's hard. I think insecure because this is probably like her first time really leading a meditation.
Oh, group
We are
meditation.
such bad candidates for a first meditation.
Or the best, because nothing will ever be as bad as this.
That's true.
Yeah, so I
Benchmarking.
think she'll be like slightly insecure, but also like she does want to give Jingmin space, so she's not gonna like
Oh,
Mm,
yeah. You also get to
Colorado.
shift my balance.
Oh, yeah,
Would you like to shift Jingmin's balance? What do you think Fumi would want?
Let me look at what it is.
My thangs are excellence and community.
That is the technical term.
Those are my
Well, like-
thangs.
Bangs.
Okay, so when I shift the balance, should I be thinking about it more of like what Fumi would want or what they're exhibiting? Because I feel
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
Fumi wants her to participate, but she's not really saying anything for it either. And Jingmin is obviously exhibiting more excellence. So it's like, if
Hmm.
Fumi doesn't really comment, I feel like it would be more towards excellence. It's kind of my thought process
Ah.
there.
I think I would say you have latitude to choose the direction that Fumi would want in this
Mhm.
case, even if you don't say anything particular to achieve that.
Okay, yeah, Fumi would want the community one. Because that's what she's
Jingmin.
going for with this group meditation.
Shift
Oh.
towards community, please.
Sorry.
All right. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, does that actually? Uh,
Does that actually put you at center, Danny?
It does, yes.
oh, I thought it was the opposite, so we're good. I was
We're
like,
good,
so
we're good.
worried. Yeah. See, I wasn't even like looking. It's just like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Anyway, okay. In that case, since Fumi's not really gonna ask Jingmin a question, then yeah, we'll go back to Lin.
Yeah, so you see Lynn's uneasiness. What do you ask?
Lin, are you worried about your parents?
What a fucking. Sorry for the immediate. You're gonna have to censor that, and I'm so sorry. I was not expecting such like a pinpoint question.
Sorry, I was trying to think of
It was a character. Is this Is this PG-13? Are we allowed the one? Is this how it is? How
One
it is?
F-bomb. Serious?
What is done is done.
Well, good luck in post, Justin. You figure that one out.
So sorry, Justin.
Oh my god, that was so perfect.
I think that is exactly what comes out of Lynn's mouth, though. Like,
What's the world appropriate response that would come out of her mouth, do you think?
I don't know what the equivalent to that is. Keep moving.
Jinkies.
Yeah, I'm worried about them, but it's they're gone now, right? I did the best that I could to make sure that they'd be fine. So there's no use in worrying about them because what I did is what I did.
Yeah.
But if they get hurt, that is so yeah. I'm worried.
I understand. I think you did the right thing, Lynn.
I mean, maybe the drugs were overkill.
I think that you were trying to keep them safe the best way you knew how.
Yeah. You didn't get like a hangover, did you?
No.
Okay. That makes me feel better. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, when I left home, it was hard, and I worried at first too. But you have to trust in them sometimes.
Yeah. Just hope they don't get involved in any more gangs. Because that's a little rough.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you. But it's okay.
I thought meditations were supposed to be silent.
I'm sorry. What have you been doing?
You just see she throws all her arrows in her bow to the side and just closes her
No.
eyes.
Let's gonna slide her hand across the ground and bring the bow back. Like flick it back towards the group.
Ooh.
So that's a focal point, and I needed to meditate.
Oh. Do you want a fidget spinner instead?
I can tell you're not really meditating.
Who, me or Lynn?
You.
Oh. I think everyone has their own way of meditating. And mine might be preparing weapons of destruction for our upcoming mission.
Do you know what meditating is?
I think meditating. No, I don't.
I think
I know-
at this moment. Oh yeah, sorry, Danny.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna keep saying. I think
You're
Jimin would say it. I know. I think Kumari told me what it is, but I forgot.
I think at this point, even if your conversation continues, Amuk, you see Kumadi walk over towards your group. Her distinctive blue hair now hidden under a hood. But you recognize her from her piercing amber eyes. Amuk, a word?
Just slowly gets up and just sure thing. I think Jingmin here needs to stew a little longer with Fumi.
Very well.
Oh no, that's
This looks like a meditation session.
and we're all doing great.
Oh,
She
that's
puts a hand on your shoulder, Jingmin. I'm sure you are.
Amuk will quickly make an ice-bended fidget spinner to give to our favorite needs a stim companion that we didn't put two and two together until just now and realized maybe Jingmin wouldn't have shot so many people if just had a better stimming mechanism.
Yeah.
Her stimming mechanism is shooting people
Oh my
with
god.
arrows.
we're self-soothing by doing the opposite
It's
to
just
others.
so satisfying.
It's just, I like it when the bow goes twang. Like it's just what it does.
That's all it's about. That's all it's always been about.
Oh my god. Wow.
As you step away with Kumari Amuk, she kind of just surveys all of the activity around you in this marketplace. It's been set up in one of the streets feeding into the plaza. And after a moment, just sighs. Doesn't make eye contact with you for a bit. I've fought against you several times, Amuk. I'm glad I don't have to today.
Sorry, still thinking about Jingmin. I'm glad we don't have to continue to fight. I'm only sorry that it took us this long to realize we were on the same side.
This is the nature of things. I see much of you in myself. I think we are alike. Warriors. Would you agree?
I would.
And then, like me, it must be difficult to imagine life after the next battle.
I feel like that is the one thing that I'm always worried to see not happen again. What place does someone that's meant to hurt others have when there's no longer others to hurt?
A warrior without a war. I didn't want to leave something unsaid, Amuk. I know we have something in common besides our current enemies. Our concern for a skillful little raccoon.
Yes, our little bandit.
You're aware that I've been mentoring her in some regard.
I have. The fact that you have been able to break through in a way that I have not been able to is impressive.
I too can see things that you have done for Jingmin. The good in you has reached her. But this is what I did not want to leave unsaid, Amuk. I think of Jingmin, and there are things I've seen you do that even I wouldn't do as the leader of a triad. You must know your influence, that men will do as you do and not as you say. And now her eyes search you and lock for the first time since your conversation began.
I always account those actions to the simplest example I can always give. It's both action and response are almost like a dual-sided blade. You get results with your actions, but you also lose more of yourself the more you get those results. Slowly, I've been feeling like the actions I've had with that will affect Jingmin eventually. But I think they're hurting me more now than anything else.
I hope you are right. She has so much to unlearn because of ruthless people like her grandfather. People like me and you. And so I must ask, can you honestly look at Jingmin? And she looks over at Jingmin as Jingmin carries on her conversation with Fumi and Lin. Can you look at her and say that she's better off with you than not? And Amuk, I am trying to shift you toward restraint and away from results. You can resist an NPC shifting your balance if you like and roll.
What would I
you
need to roll? Or what would the roll be? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just 2d6.
You just roll.
Yeah, there's no stat.
There's no stat. It's just a straight roll.
Yeah, and on a 10 plus, you would choose two things. On a 7 and 9, you would choose one. And so that could be clearing a condition or marking growth by immediately acting to prove them wrong. It could be shifting your balance towards the opposite principle. So like a very opposite reaction to their intention of shifting you. Or learning what their principle is. And if you already know what it is, taking +1 forward on any actions against them.
Gotcha. I will resist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see the roll.
It's a 9.
Okay. So you get to choose one. And I'll take those 3 options and just put them in the chat for us for ease of reference.
By immediately acting to prove them wrong, shift your balance towards the opposite principle. I will choose to shift my balance towards the opposite principle to max out my results.
You're at +3 results now?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Okay.
Wow.
What do you say, Amuk, to her question? Do you honestly think that Jingmin is better off with you than not?
I don't know. I never envisioned myself living long enough to either mentor someone or even to feel like I was raising a daughter. All I know is I'd do anything to make sure she'd continue.
That I can respect. Well, here's to something. And to a world where warriors don't know what to do with themselves.
Hopefully to a world where warriors won't need to be around.
Good luck.
You too.
Amuk, she steps away. What do you do?
Kind of just hang back for a little bit and kind of just watch the three of them having a heated discussion, probably over something. Not being able to like really hear it as much as just see everyone's actions.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just take a moment. They just walk back in.
Do you think that Min would be able to see any discernible difference in your countenance when you return?
Assess the situation roll. I'll leave it to the dice.
I'm calling his
Well,
own rolls now.
To make things easier, I was kind of thinking about back on that heated discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Amuk walks in on Jingmin saying, Lin, I don't know why, but it seems like you're kind of targeting me here. Like, I talk about how, like, I have my ways of meditation, and you instantly have a response to that, and, like, you're being sarcastic about it. And I might be young and the youngest in the group, but I'm pretty effective, and I can meditate if I want to.
Oh, if you want to? So, okay. Let's make something very clear right now. When you want to doesn't include when our friend goes out of her way to try and do something nice for us right now. And Fumi, I'm sorry. I'm not the best group meditation. I'm sorry. But Jingmin, I tried.
I mean, don't you think what I did is better than saying, no, Fumi, I don't want to do that because I don't feel like doing it right now?
No, because you
I
still
didn't want to hurt her
that.
feelings.
Because you still said that.
I technically didn't say anything. I just didn't do it.
Okay. I'm going to get up right now and I'm going to walk away from this so you have a second to think about this, okay?
Well, like, you're forcing me to think about it like you forced me to think about my grandfather.
Yeah. And Lynn stands up and walks away.
Min looks around and stands up and follows after Min. No, I'm not going to think about it. I say we keep arguing about it.
No.
I think this is a lot more efficient with our time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, great, Jingmin. Let's have a conversation about this then. Just in the open, in front of all these people in this very big space where people know who we are. Yes, let's yell about this. This is a great solution. You want to go first?
I mean, it's just us. It's our friends. I'd say this is as safe a space as any.
It's a lot of people in this area.
Okay, fine. No, I'll go first. You told me. The last time we had this thing, you told me to sit down and think about things, and I did, and nothing changed about what I thought before. You know, I thought about my grandfather, and he's dead, and I hate him, but I also miss him, and I don't understand that, and that's okay. I'll lean towards the hate, and that's fine because it makes me stronger. Kind of like what I'm doing right now. I don't see the purpose for meditation.
but I also don't see the purpose in hurting my friend by saying I don't want to do something that she respects greatly. And so, yeah, I'll sit here in silence and I'll string my bow and I'll put arrowheads on my arrow shafts and I'll prepare for battle in silence.
Know what, Jingmin? You're right. You're right. You meditated in your own special way, and rather than telling Fumi you didn't want to do it up front, you waited so that when she opened her eyes, she would be confronted with the fact that you didn't want to do it. That was the brave way about doing this. This was the brave way of doing that, Jingmin. And you're correct. And you're correct.
So you're saying that? But it doesn't feel like you mean it.
No, Jingmin, I mean it in the same way that you mean that you sat down and you thought about things and that you took your bowstring as meditation. I mean that in the same way you mean those things.
Let me ask what Lynn is trying to achieve here.
I don't know.
What do you think she wants in this interaction?
Just for Jingmin to understand or hear. Probably just hear, right? Once again, just trying to get the same point across. It's I don't really know if it's in a sense it's a guide and comfort, but it's more of like a verbally assault and make someone agree with you. Not there's something like comforting, you know? Like,
What is it? Isn't there a name for that
Guide
in
and make
mechanics?
uncomfortable.
It's
I mean-
needling, right?
Well, like, yeah, I wonder if this even starts to verge on an intimidate. Do you want
Okay.
Jingmin to give in to what you are saying from this needling? Or do you think you describe it more as guidance? You know?
I think it probably is closest to an intimidate.
Ooh.
But also I think Lynn would just be happy to drop it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it
I'm
doesn't have
reading
to be
intimidate to double check because this is like rare if ever, right? And
anything.
it seems like it's primarily written for NPC interaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which makes sense to me. I could see a guide and comfort here. Yeah, I would like for you to roll with harmony, Lynn.
Okay.
Whoa.
That's an 11.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Let's go.
Okay. And just to try to put a fine point on this, even if it's not overt or crystal clear from the interaction itself, what is the intended guidance?
It's let us help you.
Okay. Jingmin, you've just been shifted towards
Yeah.
community, right? Like, how do you feel
Yes.
about this?
Yeah. Could I have what was the last thing Lynn said? Unless you also just want to add a little bit more in the fiction. I'm just looking for a little bit. Just I want to step back into the argument, the conversation.
Yeah, I think it was along the lines of I mean what I said in the same way you mean you sat and thought about this, in the same way that you participated in Fumi's meditation.
Okay. Okay, so I think Jingmin will respond and say,
Okay, so you're saying these things and I feel like I'm doing something wrong, and why can't you just tell me what I'm doing wrong?
You keep shutting us down. We love you and want to help you. And every time
Why can't you just
do,
why can't you just understand that that's all I know? And why can't you just find your way around that? I'm sorry if that's too much to ask, and I can try to change, but right now I don't think I have the capacity to do that. So why can't you just
okay. right now, we'll work with it. But I want you to know, after all this is over, we're going to come back to this. And I don't know if I can keep you around if all you're going to do is make it hard for us to love you.
Hmm. I think through tears, after wiping them away, Jingmin just nods. Very, very quickly, she'll nod. She embraced, I think. I think that's mechanically she embraced.
Okay. Would you like to clear condition then, Jingmin?
I don't have any condition, but
Okay.
I think if I would have cleared angry.
You may ask a question if you like, Lynn, and Jingmin must answer honestly.
What do you want to get to eat before we stop this?
A nude witch.
A nude witch.
Okay. We'll get nude witches and we'll do a big plan.
That sounds good.
Because I'm braced, you can also shift my balance.
I'm going to push you one more towards community.
All right. I am now once again locked out of using my moment of balance.
So close. Every single time.
Hilarious. You gotta roll with the fiction. I loved it. I
Gotta
loved
roll
the
the fiction.
choice.
No, but Fumi, not Fumi, that's your character, Nikki. Man, that last thing, not the we're doing to eat, the one before that, the last thing that Lynn said, like that hit her. Like you saw in the corner of your screen, Jingmin will remember that. Yeah.
So you go get nude witches?
Yeah.
Nude witch. Nude witch.
Now, do you think it's just the two of you?
It'd be so rude to not invite everyone.
Yeah.
Also, how awkward.
We're just gonna go get the nude witches.
Yeah, and we're going to stand in silence the whole time.
I like to think that like maybe Fumi and maybe a Mook like just sort of stayed back expecting it just to be the two of them, but then we like took them and dragged them with us.
Yeah, you guys need to come and make conversation around us while we eat these nude witches.
Feel the dead air, please.
Yes, please.
Yeah. You enjoy your meal together. I think the last interaction I want to set up here before it starts to really be time for the ceremony to start is a familiar face joins you at the Nude Witch booth. A man in a fedora. That's Cho. Hopefully not our last meal, eh?
Hey, Cho. How's your car doing?
Better than ever. Thank you. I can't tell now when people ask if they're just threatening my next car or what.
That's called PTSD.
Yeah, I don't want to get that checked out, kid. But thanks for the awareness. So we in good spirits? He grabs a nude witch himself.
Yeah. You know, as good as we can be.
Yeah, I mean, we're all together. We're gonna do this. We're all good.
That's right. I'm looking forward to hearing from you, kid. He pats you on the shoulder, Fumi.
Thanks. I'll do my best.
As will we all. Lynn, I don't want to rush your food, but I had something to pull you aside for before I get into position for the plan.
Okay.
As you step a little bit away from the New Witch booth, Cho's countenance shifts. He's like looking as though checking to see if he's being watched. So, I was approached by one of the Red Lotus folks. And before the ceremony starts, bad guy wants to parlay with you, if you're open to it. I don't think the librarian or anybody else knows. I think it's just you he wants to talk to.
Lynn very visibly tenses.
And you don't have to do it. I just thought about it and I was like, I don't want to put this kid through it. You know, it's crazy stuff. I don't trust the guy. He's no good. But I also thought maybe I would have wanted the choice if I were you.
I am going through a million possibilities, and I think Lynn is going through double that. First thought is that Lynn's parents are in trouble. So Lynn just nods and says, okay, let's go.
Okay. Again, I don't think anyone else knows, so let's be quick about it. And we never had this conversation.
Yep.
I'll go make the introduction.
Okay.
And he just makes a beeline through a section of tents behind kind of the market area where people, you know, running their booths, bring their storage and unpack boxes to set up for the next wave of customers. And there's so much going on. It's easy to work through all of this and kind of conceal yourselves among the busyness. And as you get through to the far side, he nods to somebody across the way in an alley. And he says, that's the agent. Be careful, kid. I won't say a word.
Okay. And I'm not going to say anything either.
Alrighty.
Lynn's going to walk across to the agent. What is happening?
We'll play to find out, I guess. The agent guides you. You know, ceremony's about to happen soon, so it's a place not far from here, but just a few, blocks over. There's a room, and someone in a fancy tuxedo does the handoff, and the agent leaves you. And this well-dressed woman opens the door for you and says, Chancellor Gasha is right this way.
Okay. Thank you.
Of course. And you see Tao Gasha, well dressed as ever, this time in a suit of what looks like gold. It's like if gold were just turned into fabric while staying gold.
That makes me sick to my stomach.
You are struck by how, I want to say, simple the outside of this building was and how lavish the interior room is that he's waiting in. There's hot tea and a spot for you at a table with just him sitting at it.
Lynn's going to sit down at the table and not touch the tea. Because I've seen this film before.
I was distressed when you didn't accept my dinner invitation.
You know, I figured it's not my place.
In any case, despite your meddlings, I am prepared to extend the same generous offer to you now. Your friends did tell you, right? What was on the table?
No.
Huh. Well, no wonder you never showed up or followed up. all of your needs met for life, Lynn and Cloth. I'll wrap your family in the deal as well.
In exchange for
Cooperation. The Red Lotus caught on to whatever you did to stop the circus. Your parents, bless them, are still uncooperative. Needless to say, I'm impressed.
they've never really been known to cooperate, so I'm not too surprised about that.
I felt like I had them in the palm of my hand. Like they just had one string to pull and it was money. How did you turn them around? You know, I thought I was the negotiator.
I think you underestimate what family can really do to bring people together.
That may be. In any case, you've proven a more capable leader than either of them. So my proposal is go run the show. Take over the circus.
So you're just gonna fund a circus?
Well, the circus is funding itself pretty well right now, but I'm saying keep the deal going.
Mm-hmm.
There are plenty of people left in the city. I'll be candid. I still need a lot of them changed over. So you'd keep using the cabbage powder, spreading the literature. Occasionally look the other way while we program a mind or two. You know the operation. I'm sure you've seen the inner workings of it.
Yeah.
So if you abandon whatever grandiose notions you have of stopping us right now and take up your post at the edge of the city and run the circus, I'll be grateful to have one less enemy. And I'll deliver on my promise.
Sounds like a really good deal.
I specialize in really good deals.
So if I just go home, we're good?
Yeah. You don't even have to tell me what all your friends are up to. I'm sure they'll try to do something today. I feel prepared for any possibility, and I think you have some idea of what you're up against.
Yeah, especially seeing this. I'm gonna go home. I don't want to die today.
Ah,
Thank you.
you are a smart kid. I
I'll
was right about you.
guess I'll see you. I guess we'll go over specifics later.
I check in here and there, as I tend to do.
So I'll see you soon. And Lynn's gonna get up and walk out.
Lynn, is this honest?
No, what?
Then I need you to roll a trick before you step out.
Okay. Let's. Okay.
I'm so scared for you right now.
Me
I
too.
know.
Oh no! Oh no!
That is gonna be an 11.
Oh my god!
Ooh.
Ooh,
Wow.
those power rolls today.
Yeah, I'm happy creativity is the
You rolled
stat
twice?
right now.
Both have been 11.
Yeah. All right. I'll drop them in the chat for quick reference just in case. These are your options, and you get to choose 2.
I'm taking they stumble and I take +1 forward to acting against them. And they overcommit and are deceived for some time.
Oh, Well. He instinctively finishes. He sips his tea quickly and then sees that you're getting up. He gets up too to escort you to the door. Gently puts a hand around you. I knew I saw potential from the moment we met. Despite the strange circumstances in that underground tunnel.
I just want to say thank you for letting me get my mom and dad back. And then she's going to go.
Absolutely, kid. I understand the pacing, but before you go, I'm thinking on one more thing I may give you as a piece of information related to the choice to have me overcommit.
Mm-hmm.
They step down, and we don't even have to go through with our plan.
Oh,
Now that
falls on
is
him.
overcommitting. Since we're partners now and not enemies, I'm just... Yeah, I'll just say it. I'm excited to see what the librarian's got up her sleeve. Beyond what I already know, of course.
Between you and me, I don't think it's anything impressive.
She always thinks she's a few steps ahead of me. But even those billionaires are in my pocket now. Let's just hope I can keep them reined in. That weird one can't stop talking about Fumi.
Oop, oop. Oh, that's a Will noise, not a Lynn noise.
Lynn just starts going, oop, oop.
I mean, talk about obsessed, It's people have their problems.
Airbender one?
Oh, no. Talking about Ikeru, the Cabbage Corp guy. Every other comment is vengeance this, she did this to me, yada yada.
Ugh.
Sorry, I'm slipping into my New York here. Anyway.
He seemed like the type, which is weird. All the money in the world, right? And just fixated on that one girl.
Yeah. It's an uneasy agreement, let's say. I don't plan to have him on the team for long.
Well, I'm going to clear out because I don't want to be involved in whatever is about to happen.
Understood. You've got a show to run. I've got a speech to give. Good luck, kid.
Good luck. Lynn takes like the most roundabout path back to the nude witch stand.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it would be that interesting to have you contest somebody like following you to make sure you go the right way or whatever. So your circuitous route works. You make it back to your friends. It is time. You hear music shift. Jazz bands change their tune. Everyone seems to know the schedule. And there's more fanfare at the center of the plaza. People are filing into their seats. All of you can see this arena-like setup has replaced the typically open space of Monument Plaza in Harmony Park. Temporarily converted into this terraced area for seating with sections themed after the Four Nations. So you've got a quadrant of movable earth platforms, raised sections of the ground. You've got Fire Nation booths with sleek red and gold banners and sort of dragon motifs, flaming torches and lanterns around them. You've got ice walls that have been erected with some mist generators for the cool factor, and some sculptures for decoration, maybe a fountain or two. And then you've got these tent-like floating platforms supported by an array of flying bison.
Hmm.
So all of these are starting to be filled up by people from all over Republic City and beyond. I think now is the time to ask, what do you plan to do to stop the ascendancy of Taugasha? And we'll go to an ad break. Da-da-da, da-da-da, nude witches, nude witches.
Oh, we had one for today.
Oh, do
Oh, we
we?
have one? Yay!
Yeah. Alyssa put in the Discord, Dumpies, yes, we're back, and yes, we are still here. Also, Dumpies, don't wait until you taste it. And forget to plan dinner, now your kids are turning into armadillo wolves. Bring them to Dumpies, where every dish, or where every dumpling is a silver bullet.
Oh, I love that one. That
Oh
one's
my
so
gosh.
good. It's got
Yeah.
everything you need. Werewolves, child murder, perfect.
Honorable mention, for Alyssa saying, I'm sure Jing Min could figure out a way to make a dumpling arrow.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes,
yeah.
please. Best dumpling
if-
delivery.
If you think
Maybe that's your
about
new
it,
career.
pizza
Delivers.
rolls are basically arrow-shaped dumplings.
Mm.
Arrow Tip Dumpling House would be a cool offshoot of Dumpies if they focused
Mm.
just on
Making
arrowable
dumpling
dumplings.
arrowheads.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for that, Will. And we're back. What are you thinking? No need to belabor it if you want to just play to find out and imply that the plan was such and such all along. But I'm curious if you guys have anything. You anticipate Moon giving a speech, Taugasha giving a speech. At some point, Moon would be the one to probably confer leadership upon Taugasha.
I have no idea. I'll be very
Okay.
honest. I've got no idea.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Jingmin's only plan is just shoot arrows, but like if Yin Chin comes out, then shooting arrows doesn't work.
I mean, Fumi knows that she's supposed to give that speech, so I think she
Mhm.
has that. I remember that she, I didn't write it down, but that she got that flying bison whistle, so she is ready to use that to get a flying bison to come if she needs.
Oh,
There's a lot of them. I think that's a good plan.
Yeah, there are flying
Yes.
bison that are holding up, that are basically being used as supports during this
Yeah.
event, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did we get a chance to have that meeting between Amuk and President Moon now that she's no longer brainwashed?
Oh,
I think a flashback needs to happen.
A flashback.
a flashback.
To borrow
this
a mechanic from a different game.
I am so intrigued. I think it's fun. Yeah. Would you like to go to that scene, or would you like to just use something from that scene?
Let's go back.
Okay.
No. Let's
No?
no. Let's use something that we can then go back to if we need to. I think that would work better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what happened? In short, that
short,
you could give us a little
um,
snippet of the outcome of this.
Amuk and President Moon had a conversation about what their next steps would be to help avoid the ascension of Taugasha, and that President Moon would give a signal to signal us when it's safe enough for us to make a move.
Okay. Make a move as in a physical move against Taugasha? Just want to make sure I kind of know what you're laying down.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to give a signal as her unless I know what I'm signaling as her, you know?
Either make a move. Oh, I feel like that gives too much away.
So you want me to give a signal as President Moon, not knowing as the GM what the signal means? Do you want to message it in a...
Yeah, let me message it to everyone else away from
Okay. Okay.
from the
That's
GM.
fine with me. Yeah, put it in the StreamYard chat. All right. While Gus sends me that note, sounds
Oh, no,
like
not
we're
to you.
mostly...
He's
Everyone
I think
else.
he's sending it to everyone but you.
Everyone but you.
My solution was to send it in our private chat so that our listeners don't feel like they have a spoiler, if that was your concern. But your concern is you're happy to tell all the players, but not the GM?
Yes.
I love feeling informed. I'll take this.
This is
I'll take
great.
this.
This is great.
You know, I can't stop you. I think this is hilarious. I will not try to dissuade you, Gus.
All right, cool. I'm making a new group in the WhatsApp chat.
And I know I've heard from Jingmin and Lynn. Fumi, did you say also no specifics that you wanted to articulate?
I think just like after thinking on it more, I think just using the flying bison whistle when it's about time, so that she can come in from above.
Okay. Okay. Very cool. Well, we cut to the beginning of the ascension. People have taken their seats. There is these 4 sections that I've described representing the 4 nations, and there's also a larger area of seating in the middle of all of that, where people from all walks of life can feel free to sit as well. And the energy is palpable in the air. You are given an order of ceremony card. These are all handed out. And you see that there are a few words from Taugasha before a speech from President Moon, followed by a note about the official inauguration of Gasha's leadership as chancellor. People, to uproarious applause, Taugasha takes the stage. Banners of him, somewhat grandiose, but still tasteful looking in style, hanging from either side as he takes to the podium, which has plenty of microphones. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll keep my remarks brief. As fears run wild, I want to put some concerns to rest. Firstly, various allegations concerning the return of the Red Lotus. Investigations are ongoing, but I can say this. The dreaded Zahir, murderer of the Earth Queen, has indeed been pulling strings, even from his jail cell, through the spirit realm, which, as you know, is more open to passage than ever. People of Republic City, a lenient policy towards such radicals, and indeed the chaos set upon us by wandering spirits, has done us no favors. And people cheer in response to this. And as President Moon yields her place, My first act as High Chancellor and Guardian of the Republic will be to put Zahira to death. My second, with the help of Avatar Korra herself and in partnership with the Great Spirit of Order, Yin Shen, will be to close the portal to the spirit realm, restoring peace and a clear separation. Now, I've taken too much of your time, but I wanted to be clear on my promises on what I will start on this very day. Thank you all. Now we'll hear from President Moon and then festivities. People clap as Taogasha steps aside and takes a seat at the edge of the stage. It's quite a large stage, so it takes a little bit to get there. And President Moon comes out, composed as ever. She fixes her glasses. My fellow citizens of Republic City, it is with a heavy heart that I address you today. We stand in a moment of profound sorrow and reflection, recognizing the failures of my leadership and the Council. We have failed to protect not only the cherished relics of our past, but also the living souls who carry our stories and teach the next generations. Recently, our universities, the beacons of knowledge and hope, have suffered unimaginable kidnappings. Books, too, have been stolen and burned, and the very essence of our heritage has been threatened. We also have seen terrorist attacks go unanswered, their perpetrators unpunished. Beyond these atrocities, our markets are dominated by unchecked titans of industry. It grieves me to say that despite tremendous technological achievement, our progress has only served to fill the coffers of the wealthy, leaving prosperity out of reach for most citizens. So you see and feel around you that the shift in the atmosphere in response to this. But there's also a degree of relief in the air, almost surprise that politicians would be so honest. Under my leadership, these grave injustices have persisted. And I want to say that I understand if you have lost faith in me, in the Council, and in the promises that we have failed to keep. The status quo cannot continue. And to that, there is some applause. I know that many of you are afraid. So am I. In times like these, it is tempting to throw our hopes behind a new, strong leadership who promises immediate change. But we must be cautious. We must remember the lessons of our history and the delicate balance in which our world hangs. And so in this dark hour, I ask you not to listen merely to my words, but to the words of a young airbender, whom many of you already know. The future of Republic City depends on all of us. She steps aside. Taogasha cocks his head in surprise, and he looks over at the empty space that Moon has left at the podium.
And as he's looking, they'll just hear the horn Fumi also took earlier from above, as a flying bison flies across, flies through the air, and then she jumps off using Aang's staff to glide down into the center of the stage.
Yo, it's so good.
She keeps it, as she lands, she holds it, keeps it open so that everybody, no doubt about it, in the crowd can see. This is Aang's staff. You know this staff.
Fumi, before you continue, I just want to say with that epic entrance and with holding Aang's staff out, soon as you take your place on the podium, you look out and you see the council members like front row in each of their corresponding sections for the four nations. And you spot Tenzin, and he's just like wide-eyed in awe as he looks at you as you hold his father's staff. He seems confused, and he also has a very large egg-sized bump on his head.
Oops.
You may proceed.
Thank you, President Moon. And then she looks out over the crowd. Everyone, I know you're scared. President Moon is right. This status quo can't continue. But do you really think Tao Gasha can lead you to something better? Because look around, she indicates to the banners. He's nothing but a lying, egotistical weasel. He's proven that he's willing to take away our free will and force a choice on us. Heck, look at his face right now. He wasn't expecting this because he had President Moon brainwashed. Not just her. This whole time, he and his people have been using drugs to make you agreeable. They've been using machines to brainwash people. They even brainwashed Tenzin. Do you really think people who resort to that will let you do what you want with your life? They're stealing away our freedom, our individuality, our past, and our future. How can they do that and claim to be the ones that are trying to do better? They tried to steal everything that we cherish, our minds, and as well as the relics that led to this new republic becoming what it is today. But we're here because of our past. We're here because of everything Avatar Aang and Avatar Korra did. Anyone who knows history knows that it wasn't always happy. We almost lost airbending because of it. We almost lost the air nomads to the very nation I was born to. But that past is why I'm here the way I am today, an airbender from the Fire Nation. Because even though Avatar Aang and Avatar Korra couldn't see a better future in the moment, they still believed in it, and they fought hard to protect it for us. I won't say our society is perfect, and President Moon is asking for our help to change it. Because we can make it better if we work together. If we embrace our differences and who we are, we can always find a way to create a new future. My friends have shown me that. Jingmin, who started out doing everything for herself, helped me learn new ways to fight and has shown so much compassion in everything she does. Lin Incloth, who's so aware of the dangers we're all facing, has riven time and again with more courage than anyone I've known. And Amuk Sor, his past has shown him what's at stake and what we can all lose if we forget and ignore it. He hasn't ignored it, but instead has used it to fight for a better life. And so should we. Tao Gasha is the one trying to steal away our past, to keep us from learning and growing with it. He'll destroy our bonds, our freedom, and our future, and I think you all know that isn't right. That'll only stifle what we can become. I believe in a better future, and I believe we can choose it for ourselves. So, who's with me?
That's so good.
It was so good.
So good.
I got goosebumps.
On. As you got towards the end of your speech, you saw at the base, beneath this elevated platform, the base of the stage, you see police starting to sort of shuffle into position at the exits, ready to make an arrest, it would seem. Tao Gasha, though initially caught off guard, tried to maintain a placid expression more or less successfully through your speech. Before we see any further results, do you think this is a plead?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
So the interesting thing is this works for both wielding my reputation and for my moment of balance.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh my
Oh, let me hop over to your moment of balance. Yeah, yeah.
If
See.
you if you if you choose to use your moment of balance, it just happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's see. Akifumi Yako, the aspirant. So, regardless of the specific content of any moment of balance, as Danny said, you would get narrative control. So you would essentially grab the camera and tell us what happens, and that agency would extend to whatever you think is narratively appropriate, even for controlling NPCs.
Wow.
It's ideal. It's ideal if you limit that.
Yeah,
I
that makes
think
sense.
I think
To what you
reading the
consider
moment
to
of
be
balance
reasonable.
first.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I think reading out loud the moment of balance first helps to point the narrative that you are going to take the story in the right
Yeah.
direction. Right?
Can you read it for us?
All right. You've been developing your reputation and influence to bring about real good, just change in the world, but making real change doesn't always make you popular. Here and now, though, you see a way to connect the change you hope to bring about in the world with the exact wants and desires of those in your base. Tell the GM how you wield your influence, reputation, and bearing to convince someone important to agree with a real change. With a real need to change here and now, and how those in your base will know you helped bring about this change and come to appreciate you still further for your efforts.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Nikki? Is this where you want to cash in a moment of balance, or do you want to leave it up to dice?
That is so scary.
I think if I can chime in, I think we have tonight and Friday. And this is your last chance to use a moment of balance.
Yeah, I think it's also Fumi's big moment too.
Yeah, this is a
This is like
huge
her
movie.
moment.
This is yeah.
She is trying to bring about a huge change.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I love this. And the struggle between the principles of legacy and adoration. I'll read a little more explanatory text because I love this. The aspirant tries to balance these two principles by wielding them in conjunction, pursuing adoration to better support legacy and acting in favor of legacy to receive further adoration. They seek to do what is right and best for everyone, but also to be loved for it. And the aspirant's moment of balance is that perfect synthesis. In that moment, they bring their reputation to bear to create a real change here and now, and in turn earn the respect and adoration of the people they represent. All right, Nikki. Tell us what happens.
I think at first, everyone is just silent for a moment, just taking all that in. And then starting with the non-brainwashed air nomads, there'll just be like a single clap and then another clap. And slowly it'll just pick up. It'll spread through the urban side as well, like through the people of the city as well. Until like they're clapping so loud that like Tahoe Gasha can't even hear himself.
Ooh. And do I hear in that, is it implied that Taogasha tries to take back the mic? Like, does he go up to the podium, but he's being drowned out?
Yeah, I think so.
I love that.
Yes.
And even like the police down there just like slowly joined in the clapping.
Yeah, maybe some have like a sheepish look, like you gotta clap. You know, everyone else is clapping. Maybe some of them seem wholehearted. Yeah. Anything else that you would like to narrate as an immediate consequence of this? I don't want to to ask that as a sort of pressure on you, but
I think President Moon comes up and like shakes Fumi's hand.
Amazing.
It's just Talgasha just off to the side trying to.
Yeah. Still trying to talk here. Still. Yeah.
Can do I shoot him now?
Okay. Excellent work, Nikki. Does anyone else want to do anything? Or should I just narrate more of what unfolds?
I think Amuk and present company are going to slowly start pushing their way closer through the crowd.
Yeah, I think Jingmin didn't even start in the crowd. She started in a typical Jingmin spot, like somewhere high up in the air.
Yeah, definitely. Amuk is working his way through the crowd. I will let everyone else say where they are.
Lynn is trailing Amuk.
And Jingmin's
If
bow
you
has been
wish.
has been drawn and just pointed at Talgasha this entire time. She's really working her arm strength here.
Full workout. Yeah. Just hold it there. Yeah. I would like for each of you, my players, to mark inspired, if you wish.
Ooh. This is the first time we've had inspired.
I feel like it probably is. I'm sorry that I haven't inspired you all more.
What?
So
It's the
inspired is a
perfect moment.
status. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you're ready to stand for something. It says, clear inspired to shift your balance toward a principle of your choice. You can cash it in if you like, whenever it feels
I
appropriate.
think I did have it after the oh my gosh, the game thing, pro bending.
Oh,
But I never actually used it.
Ah, yes.
I
Yeah.
also had inspired and have just been sitting on it.
Oh.
I don't think it lasts that long.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Well,
you
it's been
probably
like
lost
off, so-
inspiration, but you got it back, Will.
Yay!
Okay. So as you're pressing towards this, Gasha is pretty insistent, but seemingly losing patience. He's tapping on the microphones, trying to check how loud he is. Okay, everybody, all right. And before he can say more, Moon also takes to the microphone. She says, I call for Taugasha's arrest. And Fumi, you see below kind of the police look at each other. And some are shaking their heads, no. And some seem eager to obey their president. And a mix of the police takes to the stage from the sides, and they start to converge on the area where the three of you stand at the podium. You can see, of course, a mix of responses, civilians, supporters, dissenters, all starting to be more and more clearly identifiable by their reaction to this. Some are shouting in protest, some are cheering, and the police have much more on their hands now than just what they're doing on this stage, trying to maintain order. Anyone want to do anything?
Fumi's gonna pull President Moon behind her, first of all.
Nice.
And
yeah.
then just look at Gasha, who's I'm assuming still playing with the microphone.
Yes.
Give it up, you slimy weasel. You're done.
That's slimy weasel.
I would love for just like some of that to get picked up by one of the mics, Remarkable speech.
Oh.
And extraordinary claims as well. And Taugasha is cut off by the conflict that ensues around him between police officers for and against President Moon's command. Arguing escalates quickly, and they start to pull out metal and metal bend at each other.
Mook is going to turn around and look at Lynn and say, I'm gonna throw you up there. Are you ready?
To do what? What? Okay.
Start throwing rocks. I don't think President Moon knows we're here yet.
Okay.
And Mook is going to ice bend a little hippy hoppy platform for Lynn to.
Lynn's gonna go because, well, that's what we're doing.
The hippy hoppy
So-
platform.
So, Mook, you're bending a hippy hoppy ice platform to help
Mhm.
launch
Lynn,
Lynn.
towards Taugasha and the police and President Moon.
Oh. Danny, do you know offhand if there's a contest roll?
In Avatar Legends,
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I
All
think
right.
typically they
All
try
right.
to
We'll
handle
resolve it. Yeah.
these PC things like, or are you looking
PC
at? Are you
versus
thinking of?
NPC in this case? Yeah.
Oh yeah, are you thinking of Taugasha versus like Lynn?
Yeah. For example,
Hmm.
or in this case, I think I want to have a Mook roll.
I would imagine it would be like a rely on skills and training since it's just,
Mhm. Mhm.
launching.
Yeah.
Alright.
Let's see it. Roll with focus.
Haha, you told me. I didn't have to.
I know.
Came off the table. That is an 8.
Okay.
With a +1, so 9.
Okay. You do so imperfectly. Amuk, you realize as you position this platform for Lynn, and as she jumps to step onto it to help launch her up, that it is just a bit far away from where you need to get her to. And I'd say perhaps just a bit slippery. You can accept those consequences and whatever comes out of them, or you can mark a fatigue to adjust and push yourself a bit.
I will mark a fatigue.
Okay. Lynn, the setup comes into place beneath your feet perfectly. What do you do?
Get launched. Hello? but I think far more specifically, we aren't in exchange yet, right?
No, correct. No exchange yet.
Okay. Then we're gonna do exactly what was asked of us, which was start throwing rocks. Specifically not at Taugasha, but the people fighting like pro Taugasha. We have enough self-awareness so that we can't take him on, but we can probably take out some
supporters, yeah.
some supporters.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're all in police uniform, but I'll give you that you actually recognize some of the faces of these folks as Red Lotus agents. I think it's still a bit of a tricky thing to target everybody well, and so I would like a push your luck.
Okay.
PTL.
BTL. BTL. BTL.
Okay, that is gonna be a doopa 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 doop boop. 8.
Okay.
Not bad.
Push your luck. On a hit, you do it, but it costs you to scrape by. The cost of this imperfect effort is that you will most certainly take out some people who are actually in support of President Moon. In the main, you will have succeeded in directing your projectiles at the enemy. I think we see this barrage, and for a moment we cut so the camera is just from the perspective of this, of like the stage and this like just clamor and chaos of these fighting officers. And then we just see a little bit of ice, and then Lynn launched into the air, and these projectiles just come at us. And the next moment, a bunch of police are down. Lynn, because you were launched, if you wish, you can also take a spot on the stage. I just wanted to make sure that it was clear whether you decide you want to be there or not.
No, I want to be as close to Mook as possible. Like,
Okay. So you'll return
can
back
run.
to the ground after this attack.
yeah.
Okay. I want to let the other players chime in before I throw further consequence at you. Jingmin, Fumi, anything that you want to do
Jingmin?
immediately?
Jingmin is sort of just watching from above, just with her eyes wide. Just like,
I know I should be shooting something, but I don't know what I should be shooting.
I think I want to wait until you add some further conflict. So
It's
if
totally
Fumi
fair.
wants
I
to do
love that.
anything-
Yeah.
Bit of narrative there.
Booby just like kind of watches Jingmin, or not Jingmin, Lynn fly up, pelt the police with rocks, and drop back down. And she's just standing there Fumi's just standing there protecting President Moon. Like, okay, that just happened.
Excellent. Talgasha, in the midst of the commotion, still hangs on to the podium, clearly now unnerved. Actually, I named that as a condition on his chart, so I'm going to mark that. That's very appropriate. And his usual composure, the veneer is just shattered. And you can hear him now just raising his voice into the microphones at the podium. Nope, it's not going to go like this. Agents, move in. And around the perimeter, you see pristine Mecca move in, and a lot of the crowd, I mean, mixed response. A lot of folks are like quelled immediately by the sheer intimidation of these robots moving in to reinstill order. Other people shriek as soon as they see these things advancing, and screaming people just start leaving the edges of the gathering in the plaza. You have never seen Mecca quite like this. It's like a shinier, extra armored, pristine looking version of what would have been familiar, I think, for the Earth Empire's bots. Let me actually pull it up. Let's see. This would be in Republic City. Yeah. So the Earth Empire Commander Mecha is what these are called, and they've clearly been repurposed. And I will say two things. One, at Talgasha's words, Avatar Korra, who you have not seen until this moment, just launches from some unseen place behind the stage and lands right by Talgasha. between you, Fumi, and him. And she looks up, and you lock eyes with her. And you can just tell immediately. This vacant expression indicates to you that you are not looking at Avatar Korra herself, but to a programmed version of her.
Fumi's gonna like stare straight at her and it's gonna be like, Avatar Korra, this isn't what you want, and you know it deep down. I know you do.
Oh, I am wondering if there's a role there. It needs to be a push your luck because of the difficulty of breaking through.
Okay.
T-L.
All day, baby.
Oh gosh. Oh. That would be a 6.
Oh no.
Okay. Yep.
What? The three of you, Gus, Jinkies, Nikki, what do we need from this encounter to consider it a victory? Do we need to like get? Do we need to like get Tagasha like restrained? Do we need time to like get to him? Do we?
I mean, for
I
what
think-
Fumi is pushing her luck on, I think just having Korra even have a moment where she like, you know,
yeah. I think it's turned into we need to either break Korra out of it to help us finish off Tagasha, or restrain Tagasha long enough to hold him down and have Korra come back to her senses. I think that's what it seems like the scene is going to now.
Okay.
mhm.
But yeah, I rolled a 6.
I know.
There's an aid there, but I also have a.
There's okay.
You can-
I
there's-
can
there's
aid.
room to
I
aid.
can aid.
There's room to aid. I also have something in
Okay.
mind.
I love it. I think a mook can help. A mook will help.
Yeah,
think
I think
should
I do
be
want to see
what
how
you're
this
gonna
push your
do.
luck plays off.
Yeah. I think a mook is going to throw a big block of ice at Korra's noggin.
Not literally knock some sense into her.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try a good old fashioned manual reset.
Bonk. Nothing clears the head like a ball of ice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think my
true.
grandpa probably said that at one point.
it helps with the inflammation.
Especially if it turns to water afterwards, because then it's like, you know, that whole bucket of cool water on the head.
Refreshing. That's how you
what
get
if-
rid of Captain Underpants taught us, right?
What did
That's how you
Fumi
get
even
rid of
say to
those
Korra
senses.
again?
Something like, I know you don't really want this somewhere deep down.
You don't want this.
Hmm.
A mook in the back. Yeah. Just launch its ice at it.
You
I
want
mean,
this smoke
because-
instead.
Because a mook, has the same aim and wants to reset or deprogram Korra or jostle her out of this state. It is hilarious that this is a functional help, but yes, if you mark the fatigue a mook, you can bump this up to a 7.
Mark the fatigue.
Okay. It is now a weak hit. Well. To your surprise, Fumi, and you're a hopeful person. As this ball of ice hits Korra's head, she shakes herself. She shakes her head as if to clear it, dazed for a moment. And then her eyes trail back and then fix on you again. And she blinks a few times. And she seems disoriented. You see something you would not expect, which is just a little bit of fear in Korra's eyes. as she takes in her surroundings again.
As
What did you say? But then she turns and looks back at Taugasha and at the fighting police officers, or what remains of them. Just a few. And she raises her fists, unsure apparently of whom to defend from whom.
as she like is in that brief moment of confusion, Fumi's gonna just like, holding Aang's hand in one Aang's staff in one hand.
Aang's
It's
here
gonna
now,
hold-
and Fumi is holding his hand.
And she's gonna hold her other hand out towards Korra and be like, "See, I know it's that you want to do what's right. So please come with us."
Korra continues to keep her guard raised. She drops into a horse stance. I'm not sure what's going on here, but I'll get answers. She turns and starts to try to break up the fight that remains on the stage without bringing further harm to any of the parties. So it's a lot of like parrying and stepping between people to knock them apart.
Yeah,
In classic Avatar peacemaking fashion.
it's killing all of them.
They're all, decimated
It's like
as soon as she touches them.
never taken alive.
She just touches them, they disintegrate.
I realized that as I got caught up in the fiction that I meant for Moon to signal. And so whatever the agreed upon signal was, Amuk, that has been given in case there's more that you wanted to do with that.
The whole plan has changed, even with the signal going out.
Okay.
I like to imagine Moon was signaling for like a while before we even started doing anything.
Moon was
Like just lifting up flashlights.
Korra being here changed plans. I forgot she was a part of this fiction. It's great. She might also be the solution. It's fine.
I have to narrate a negative consequence related to this mixed result for your push your luck. And here's what I think it is. You have, for the moment, jostled Korra out of a clear state of working against you. But as she starts to reorient and look at what's happening around her, she sees you standing in front of President Moon. And you are not a familiar face. And so Korra attacks you, Fumi. You are definitely now in an exchange.
Yep, I saw that coming.
Okay, wait.
Yes, my friend.
I think I want to cash in my inspired
Okay.
to move my balance to center and use my moment of balance.
Okay.
Oh wow! Nice.
Finally happened.
Danny, will you kindly read Jing Min's moment of balance as the prodigy?
So it reads, you've always struggled to rely on other people. It feels like it makes you weak, but in this moment, connection to others is the very source of your strength. You call upon your commitment to the group to push yourself beyond your limits and do the impossible. Tell the GM how you accomplish a feat no one has ever done before to help or save your friends. So, Jingmin from above sees all this happening. She sees the struggle of Amuk and Lin trying to get to Taugasha. She sees Fumi kind of drawing Korra away, but then Korra instead goes to attack Fumi. And so I think just to seeing Korra as the greatest threat right now on the board and seeing Fumi in a lot of danger, Xingmin will just jump up from where she's at with 2 blunted arrows drawn. Now she's gotten to know Mook pretty well, and I think she's done a little bit of like research on her own about some of the things she's learned about Mook. Maybe she's seen some illustrations of some things and has used that to kind of put 2 and 2 together. She takes these 2 blunted arrows and fires them off in Korra's direction. One aimed at her forehead and one aimed at her chest. And she's never tried this before, but she's thought of it. You know, she does a lot of thinking. She's thought of chi blocking and things like that. And she knows that those are the 2 points that the avatar touches to get rid of someone's bending. So I think she's just thinking, maybe if I just blunt force trauma those 2 points of arrows at the same time, it'll at least stun her for long enough to give my friends just the window to do what they need to do. And so Fumi, I think what you see is you see Korra running at you, and then just those 2 arrows hit her. And I think it doesn't even I don't think maybe it doesn't even block her chi. I think she just got hit super hard by 2 arrows in her sternum and in her forehead.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts.
That would do it.
Don't care for the avatar. That's
I
gonna
don't
hurt.
I don't even think the feat that no one has accomplished before is like temporarily like stunning someone's bending. I think the feat no one has ever accomplished before is just a 12-year-old launching 2 high-speed arrows at the avatar's face.
Yeah.
And soon after, Jingmin just lands in the group of police because I say that she jumped off of her spot.
Oh. I would like for you, Danny, to take just a touch more liberty.
Okay.
And just, if you have more ideas, like maybe one step further on consequences of what happens.
Yeah.
Feel free to tell us.
I think seeing this first, what everyone, I think, like the police, my friends, maybe even like people piloting the mechs if they're not remotely controlled. Just
They are
notice
piloted.
these 2,
Yep.
They are piloted. I think they just noticed these 2 arrows come out of nowhere to slam the avatar in the face.
Mm.
And then soon after, they notice a 12-year-old plummet from the sky into a group of police officers. So I think just the everyone in this area, like the entire crowd, is just stunned for a second. Maybe opening up a window for someone to do something good. Did you want
Okay.
more, or?
No, I just wanted to make
Okay.
sure that we gave it the squeeze because it's your moment of balance, you know?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, this is so fun. I'm going to mark stunned for Korra.
Oh.
I think that was a choice word on your part, Danny.
Perfecto.
And let's see, to make sure I'm aware, they can't act or respond for a few seconds until they steady themselves. So certainly because I've said that Korra is in an exchange with Fumi, that is a huge help. So at least this exchange, nothing coming from Korra except...
I'm a 12-year-old and I just stunned the avatar.
Yes, you did, prodigious
Forever.
Jingmin.
Forever will tell people that for the rest of
Yes.
Jingmin's life. Like,
Before we hear from others on whatever window of opportunity this presents, Taogasha loses it at the sight of Jingmin flying overhead, releasing her arrows and stunning the avatar. And his eyes glow yellow. He's facing away from the crowds. It's not clear how many folks will be able to take full notice of this, but because of what you've just done and what you said, Danny, this sort of moment, this like pregnant pause around what the impact of your shot, I think more people take notice than would have. As Taogasha levitates just slightly off of the platform with his arms extended to the sides. You will not take this from me. Everything was perfect. I will include him in the exchange now. I will also include you, Jingmin, in case it wasn't clear.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. I assume she didn't take any damage from the fall because she fell on top of a bunch of police officers.
Correct.
Okay,
They totally. Police officers, as we know, are very cushiony. So
Yeah, it's the extra donuts they eat makes them extra pliable for falling off. Oink, oink, oink.
I just hear a bunch of under Kingman. Does Taogasha still have his mic, or did he drop it and all that?
No, I mean it wasn't mobile. It was all attached to the podium, and he stepped away from that now to give preference to attacking you.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Taogasha's
Which is
past
not
talking.
a good look for him.
No,
Yeah.
but it's a great look for me.
Amuk, I think Amuk is gonna yell out at Taogasha to get him to turn and face the rest of the crowd.
Oh.
I'm gonna try to trigger takes one to know one.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee.
So
Ooh-wee.
the verbal needling is just gonna be Amuk is gonna yell. What good is it binding yourself to a spirit if you can be taken down by a 12-year-old girl?
Ooh-wee.
Oh. And just
pretty
yell
good.
as loud as he can. Yeah. And then when I verbally needle someone by finding a weakness in their armor, I roll with focus. And then on a hit, I ask one question. On a 7 and 9, they ask one of me as well. And then anyone who lies or stonewalls marks 2 fatigue. On a miss, your attack leaves you exposed. They may ask you one question from the list, and you must answer honestly.
Yeah. I totally think this is triggered. No question about it. Let's see the focus roll.
Oh my god. This is the longest spin. It was like that is a 13.
Jesus.
Hey.
Wow.
It literally kept teetering between the 1 and the 6, and I was like, "This
I
is
love
gonna
it when
be-"
that happens.
Wow. Okay. Well, they won't get to ask one question of you as well. You are the one asking for takes one to know one. What would you like to ask?
What could shake your certainty?
And will you use those words, or do you think it's just sort of?
Instead of those words specifically, it's. I think Amuk would yell out, "What more can we take from you to make you lose your resolve?"
Huh. Anyone who lies or stonewalls marks 2 fatigue. On a miss, your attack leaves you exposed. Okay, so it wasn't a miss. All right. Trying to think about a way that Taogasha would actually respond verbally.
Yeah.
And I don't see it happening right now.
No, I think he just
I think-
snarls and turns to face
Yeah.
Mook, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Like, I think the time for words is over for him. And so I'll call it a stonewall and I will mark 2 fatigue for him.
And the crowd sees his yellow eyes.
During
Yeah. Oh.
that
Yes.
interaction, during that interaction, Jingmin is sizing Taogasha up. And I would like to use the move I just took.
I saw
Can I make sure first that we give Will a chance to do something?
Oh
if
yes. Sorry,
they
yes,
want to.
yes.
I would love to join the exchange just to help out Fumi.
Okay.
Just that's Lynn's instinct right now. The cops or whatever, they'll deal with themselves. They're hurt enough. Yeah, I want to join that exchange.
I love that.
But yeah, I'll just bookmark that for when we actually get into the exchange.
Sure. Yep. So I'll count you as part of that when we do stance rolls and pick approaches. Anything else that you would like to do independent of techniques in the context of the exchange? Just want to check before I continue to let the other ping pong happen.
You're good.
Okay.
Yeah, Amook and Jingmin are just doing the pre-exchange debuffing, or they're trying to.
That's right. Take away all their status benefits. All right. You may continue, Danny.
Yeah, so judging a rival is the move I want to use. It just reads when you size someone up, roll with focus, and depending on my results, I can ask some questions from the list.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll focus, which is a +2.
Yep. Go for it.
That's a 9 +2 for an 11.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask 2. I think. I want to ask. I see.
And for listeners, the options right now are:
Oh,
what are
yes,
your weaknesses or strengths? This is a new move. How can I show you dominance or submission? What do you intend to do next? Or what do you wish I would do right now?
I feel like one of the obvious ones is what are your weaknesses, but I it's like. I think I want to ask. I think I want to ask, how can I show you dominance? And what do you wish I'd do right now?
And this is directed at Taogasha.
Yeah, and I don't think it's necessarily like it necessarily has to be Jingmin like verbally asking these questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is what Jingmin's finding in observing Taogasha.
I think that's a useful pivot. Yeah. Because there's no caveat in here about like a stonewall solution or a non-dialogue option.
Mhm.
So yeah, you're observing these things as you size up your rival. I like that. Oof. Jingmin, I'll answer your questions in the order you asked them.
Okay.
How can I show you dominance is the first one, correct?
Yeah.
And if I'm reading that correctly, it's like essentially how could you show that you have the upper hand or otherwise intimidate Taogasha?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Like, how can I see it as like, how can I get you to like feel small, right?
Yeah.
Like, what can I do that
Even
makes
more
you
than
sort of
already.
wither away? Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe
I'll give you
that's a part of the I'm sorry, but maybe his response, the reason he decided to attack is kind of plays into the answer that Jingmin finds, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So I think I'll give you a bit here of exposition. As you've watched these things play out, you notice a few things. The loss of control and order has unnerved and almost kind of broken open this maniacal dimension of Gasha. The chaos, the crowds, the lack of ability to take the mic back, so to speak, and quell things. The police not being able to finish, the job of protecting him. And now all these folks taking to the stage, people he's already tried to pull out of the equation, doing far more than it seems he could have anticipated. So you sense this feeling of having the upper hand in the situation already. And now him showing his true colors, as it were, this strange spiritual component to his being. On that note, you remember when you fought him on the bridge, how he was arrested in place at certain times because of a conflict with Yin Shen, the spear with whom he is bonded. So I'm giving you that to work with around how you could show dominance. As far as what do you wish I'd do right now? That was the second question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that could also isn't necessarily what does he wish Jingmin would do right now, but like maybe like what would he wish that like we'd do right now, right?
Collectively.
Yeah, like as the party.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you disagree.
I think this is kind of the other side of the same coin regarding what I've shared, which is that if you all showed yourselves to be the bad guys here, that would be favorable to him and save some face. And so I'll say, as you size up your rival, that this is what crystallizes in your mind.
Yeah. I think in that case, then I think Jingmin during this exchange, whenever we hop into it, she's not going to focus on Taogasha. I think she wants to focus on the mechas because that's getting them. I want to play into that like loss of control. I want to make him feel that more, and so I want to get as many of his pieces off the board as possible.
Okay.
Note, Fumi actually did come up with something while Amuk was doing his thing, and I don't know if you want to, because I know that she is technically engaged with Korra, so I don't know if you wanted to make me wait for Caesar position for this, but she's going to try and get back to the mic.
I think we can do this and then go into the exchange.
Okay, yeah. She's gonna
Gonna be is this
You'll
gonna
have to
cute?
have to sort of dodge Korra as she moves towards you, because I've already narrated that all this is happening and she moves towards you, right? So
but she got stunned at least.
yes,
She's an airbender.
yes.
She can.
Yeah, so it's like it's
Do a
literally
little
like
thing,
right
yeah.
after she got stunned, she sees Amuk do his thing to show up like Taogasha to the crowd, like in all his scariness.
Yeah.
And she just like slips by Korra and rushes over to the mic and is all like, "Everyone, you see who he is now. If there are any benders out there or any fighters willing to help us, please help us with the mechs."
Oh boy, is that a roll.
I know.
I think this might be your chance to plead mechanically.
and probably like with the reputation, I would.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're definitely wielding reputation here. Remind me of the two segments of the population. You've got urban, right?
Monastic and urban. So she's
Monastic and urban.
definitely
Monastic was your first. Yeah.
And she is like looking at some of the airbenders that she knows are not affected. And Tenzin, but she knows he's affected. But still, she's going to throw him a glance.
Yeah. Oh, Tenzin, you goof.
Okay, so I just rolled a 10 plus the 2 reputation already puts me up at a 12. Plus whatever the plead is. Is that focus?
So
It's hard-
this is the thing. We're wielding reputation. Yeah, we're gonna stack it on top of plead. So yeah, whatever
Yeah,
plead stat
so
is. I assume
harmony.
you said harmony. Yep.
Yeah. So that would be a
Totally.
13.
Okay. Look at you. You
I was
got
so
your
ready
12
to aid,
plus.
and I still kind of want to aid just to bring it to a 14 for no reason.
Worth the fatigue, Danny. Do it.
No.
We have set up your reputational nature as resolve a real conflict or as leader. And so because of that, when you get a 12 plus on plead, the additional bonus now is that folks who listen will continue to act as you've requested for as long as they possibly can.
Ooh.
Those
So
sort of
Dex do the
extended.
part.
That's right. So this very extended influence. On a 13, let me make sure I'm not missing anything else related to wielding reputation. There's no special cost because you're well past 9. Okay. Excellent. And now I'll read plead itself. Yeah, they act now and do their best. Fumi, as soon as the words leave your mouth, you see heads turn, fists raised, people descend from the section of airbenders on what was the stage. It's starting to come apart now because people ride the flying bison into battle against these mecha. Tenzin, you see, loses his seat because everything comes undone and unravels. He is absolutely livid, red as a tomato. And you can't hear what he's saying, but he's shouting and barking orders, clearly protesting what some of the airbenders are doing. But you spot Jaruna among those who have taken a flying bison and who descend against the mecha.
Yay! Fumi is very proud.
I am too. Oof. I think we have to go into the exchange now.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I will pick approaches for those in the mix. And then we'll get approaches from y'all if everyone can think on, if you haven't yet, what you'll choose. And for the record, because this is important, Danny, you mentioned wanting to engage the mecha. I'm treating this as a separate area. So there's the stage. No mecha are on the stage at the moment. And so the exchange happening on the stage is all of the PCs at the moment. Taugasha, Korra, President Moon, police officers as a group unit.
Yeah.
If you want to engage the mecha, that's fine. You will be heading towards that exchange, and you'll be there engaged with them as well as the Flying Bison folks. Just so you know, you'll be in a separate fight for a bit.
Okay, I think, I'm fine with that.
Okay. All right. I have marked my approaches. What do we have, everybody? Who's defending and maneuvering? Anybody?
Jingmin will.
Mook will defend a maneuver.
Okay. Advancing and attacking?
I will be advancing and attacking.
Okay. Lynn. Evade and observe?
That'll be me.
Very good.
A little bit of everything here.
Yeah. Let's see. Jingmin, I'm going to put you down here in a separate list.
Nice.
All right. Korra is stunned for this round. Let's go to Amuk first. Defend and maneuver. Let's see your roll.
Or I'm going to do... I always forget how this works, so apologies. If I do my fighting technique of pinpoint aim, do I do that first and then roll, or do I roll because this is our order?
So first the roll is to decide how many techniques you will have in this
Gotcha.
exchange. And then after that, you can choose which ones as appropriate that fall under the defend and maneuver category.
Gotcha. It's a 12.
Jesus.
Look at
Wow.
y'all. Pulling out all the stops. And you rolled with focus for that, correct?
Oh, with focus, that makes it a 13.
Hey. Okay.
Two water tribe symbols, baby.
Maybe.
It's beauteous. Let's see. Okay, so for that, you can choose a. Let's see. I'll just give you the list if you don't have the quick reference play materials in front of you. Is that best, Gus?
I do have them in front of me.
Okay.
Or at least the basic moves and the combat exchange and basic techniques.
Yeah, under stance move. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have got that 10 plus zone, and so you can choose one from that list. Instead of opting to use one basic or master technique, you can choose to mark a fatigue, use learn technique, use one practice technique, or use two different basic or master techniques.
I will mark one fatigue to use a. Oh wait, no, that's mastered. Never mind. I won't do that. I'll use two different basic or master techniques.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah. So I'll use pinpoint aim.
Mm-hmm.
And that's take the time you need to line a perfect shot. Become prepared in the next exchange. If you advance an attack, roll with focus or passion. Your choice. If you use strike, you do not have to mark a fatigue to choose what you inflict. And then the other one.
Let me go to pinpoint aim first, and we can resolve
Yeah.
that. You can name what the other one is going to be as well.
I got to pull up a thing real quick to make sure that I can
Okay.
actually do this second thing.
That is important. What page is pinpoint aim on? I'm assuming this is part of the avatar.
It is
What is it called?
it is the Adamant's
Adamant's
master
main
technique.
master technique. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So that'll be page.
So that's in the separate playbooks thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's
It's
just gonna be
on his spell
page
sheet as well.
167
It's
or 168 rather.
Okay.
169 technically.
169. Yep. Never mind.
But I don't know if it's different in the digital version. If that's what you're
Of
using.
Wanchi Tongs or of the typical
Of the
Core rulebook.
of the core rulebook.
core rulebook? Okay. It counts now more than ever.
I have that move too.
Yes, you do. You learned
I
it by
learned it.
watching it.
I learned about watching it.
All right. Why can I not find pinpoint aim? Okay. That was not far enough down. All right. So you can mark that prepared status.
Prepared.
What do you think? Well, I guess it feels pretty well described. If you're just lining up a perfect shot, is there any nuance you want to add to that, or does that capture it for you?
No, that captures it for me more than yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, I hope you advance an attack next exchange. Let's take
Yes.
advantage of the other side of this. Okay, and what's the second move? Second technique?
The second technique. That's what I needed to double check
Is
because
it basic or mastered?
it is technically mastered as per our fiction that we decided to
Mhm.
do. I, however, cannot
Because you're not empowered.
because I'm not empowered. Never mind. I can't do it.
Okay.
2 different basic and mastered techniques. Yeah, no, never mind. It'll just be pinpoint aim. Don't worry about that.
Well, you can choose
So-
any of the 3 basic ones from the
Any of your
defend
3 basic
maneuver
ones.
list. Ready, retaliate,
want
or
a ready.
position.
I'll do seize the position actually. Move to a new location, engage the foe, overcome and to give status to establish an advantage position or escape the scene. Yeah, so I can actually move myself to try to get between Taugasha and Korra. So like move because I'm not up there just yet. So I want to like do a sweet front flip like I always do and get up there. Sweet assisted
Yes.
front flip. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so, who are you engaging with? It could be both of them, but I just wanted to double check.
Let's do both. I think both.
Okay, so you're going in between Korra and Taugasha, and you're close enough to both of them to fight them.
Yeah.
And what should we picture as you line up your shot? Is this directed? Which of them is it directed at?
So Mook's gonna like flip in and start directing the shot towards Taugasha to try to like do a big, not like probably like an ice wall to like push him back a little bit to try to do a get ready for Korra because I think Korra is still a pretty big threat.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. I think we could call that positioning advantageous, but yeah, mostly you're moving and you're engaging these 2
Mhm.
people through seize a position. And so nobody was previously engaged with you as far as I'm concerned, so they won't block this technique.
All right.
Nice work. I will say that we'll go to Lynn next for advance and attack.
Mhm. Okay. First thing I want to say is I have a move called Changing Plans. So the first time I advance an attack in a combat, I can roll with creativity, which is lovely.
Mm.
That's gonna get me up to an 8. Thank God. Okay, I could use one basic maneuver or a master maneuver, and that's lovely. It's been a minute since I've recognized who was on the stage that I can hit.
Sure. Yeah, you've got Avatar Korra, you've got Taugasha,
Yeah, that's
and then you've got remaining police officers quarreling.
okay. I am gonna use harmless pins and launch rock fragments to pin Avatar Korra's close to the stage. Harmless pins reads throw, release, or otherwise cast some kind of pin, knife, shard, fragment, or other pointed implement to stick a target's close to the wall. Inflict impaired on your target. If they are already impaired, inflict trapped.
Okay. Impaired it is.
And I believe that's what we do this round.
It's excellent. You're certainly giving a layup for a mook.
That's the goal. We have a little bit of a support build in the things that we've taken.
Yeah. And let's go to Taugasha. Advancing and attacking. My goodness. Number of techniques equal to 1 plus current balance. So I will do 2 techniques. Oh, this is fun. This unhinged Talgasha. We'll do Furious Assault, which reads, make an unbalanced, impassioned strike. Become impaired due to your overwhelming passion. Shift your balance away from center and inflict conditions equal to your passion on an enemy. NPCs instead inflict conditions equal to their current balance. So I was already at +1. Now I will be at +2. And so I will inflict 2 conditions. Let's see. I think it's got to be a mook.
Ouch. Conditions? Do I get to
Yeah.
pick or you pick?
I believe I choose them. Mook, I would like for you to mark. And right now you have nothing marked for conditions. Is that right?
Correct. Nothing is marked for conditions.
Okay. I would like for you to mark afraid and troubled.
Okay. Marked.
Okay. But note that I have impaired myself and shifted my balance, which is one of the ways you can take someone out is by shifting their balance a bunch.
Mhm.
I think what this looks like is this, for a moment, suspended Talgasha just like lunges forward at you, Amuk, as you're raising up this. I think you described like a bit of an ice barrier that was forming.
Mhm.
And he just like clambers over it ungracefully, just like it's almost like a feverish, lunge,
Barrel
seething
just-
at you as he,
Yeah.
like snarls is a good word you used earlier. And just, he doesn't even have weapons in hand or anything like that. But he reaches both hands for your throat and lands his grip on you, just trying to strangle you. And you feel this uncanny strength from him. Something spiritual is happening as usual with him beyond what he is doing in the physical realm. I think I'll leave that at narrative per the move. I won't add any other things to your troubles list. Fumi, let's see, evade and observe.
Okay. I'm gonna roll with harmony. So that would be a 9. Oh. Which means I can only use a basic or mastered.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. In that case, I'm definitely gonna test. I'm gonna test balance. And she's just gonna, with the mic still in hand, gonna turn to Talgasha and be like, "Why are you even doing all of this? What do you get from it?"
Okay, the spectacle continues. The microphone. And
She
you
just
said
holds the
test
mic out for
balance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so mark a fatigue if you haven't yet.
Oh yeah, right.
And I don't know that we have made it crystal clear what Talgasha's principle or principles in this rare case are. Mechanically, his principle is ambition.
Okay.
But I think it is also clear enough to you through his speech and I don't want to lean into dialogue because he's like acting like an animal right now.
Yeah.
So I think you piece together in answer to your own question as you ask it that Yin Shen is a spirit of order and must be concerned with that. And that would fit with what Talgasha outlined for plans to seal off the spirit portal in Republic City, separating the realms more again. So I've given you both the principle of the spirit he's bonded to and himself.
Okay.
Let us cut to Jing Min.
I was so interested in learning what the principles are. And I was so invested in Fumi interacting with Takasha.
I believe you said defend and maneuver.
Yes,
Okay,
I'm going to roll.
let's see
If
it.
that's all right. I was
Yeah,
thinking
it is
maybe
all right.
a cheeky little move, but I was like, you know what? Let's just play normally for once, right? Playing normally doesn't get me anywhere. I rolled a 6 on the dice, but I have a +2 focus, so it brings me to an 8. So I can
Okay.
use a mastered or basic. Oh,
What a noise.
boring.
Boring.
I will. Man, I
I
wanted to
know.
do more.
I can't tell you how many times that happened to me in
That's-
Flying Bison podcast.
That's how I felt too.
I'm going to use steady stance. Assume a strong, steady stance. Any foes engaged with you who chose to advance and attack in this exchange must mark 1 fatigue. Negate the first condition or negative status inflicted on you this exchange. If no conditions or negative statuses were inflicted on you this exchange, I become empowered in the next exchange. This would be great for a mook to have because it's a way to get empowered and use bloodbender.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Maybe in another life, Jingmin taught a mook this technique. But yes, that's the one I will use. So
Okay.
I think Jingmin sort of just she sees the max and just sort of gets like to this in this low like crane stance with her bow drawn, just ready to rumble.
Yeah, I think it comes into play right away because it's for folks who advance and attack against you, correct?
Yes. Yep. Chose to.
Yeah.
Any foes engaged with me who chose to advance and attack must mark 1 fatigue. This exchange.
Yeah. So, yeah, Jingmin, as you move into position and drop into this stance, 2 mecha piloted by Red Lotus agents advance against you. I will mark fatigue for each of them. Which will be energy, I believe, is what it's called for the currency of mecha.
Yes.
And I think this just looks like you being singled out as a warrior who is more prepared than most of the other scattered folks who are running this way and that way, and them exerting themselves to move towards you faster and cut through the crowds because you've been identified as a threat, perhaps before this exchange even began, because of your arrows directed at Korra. As for the mecha and what they do, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, oh boy. I know, mecha are so scary. I get scared of them myself and I'm wielding them. I don't want to kill anybody. Just need to make sure I'm in the right place because I have all these PDFs. Indeed, I couldn't agree with that noise more. Okay, found my mecha spot. And based on what we've populated here for them, we have tons of modules to work with thanks to Mao Mecha Corp. Oh, you know what's a fun detail? Jingmin, as you look up at these 2 mecha, you actually see Vivi Mao herself in one of them.
What the
It is
heck?
rare that somebody piloting a mecha would look so glamorous. And it is just an unmissable detail for someone with your senses.
What the heck?
Just like done up makeup, immaculate, beautiful hair with pins in
Clearly.
it and jewelry.
You do not know who Shar is. You are not a Gundam fan. You want a glam mecha pilot? Shar. Always.
That is exactly the description. That is appropriate. This is a glam mecha pilot. But you also, as you look to the side, Jingmin, you see the face, the wild expression of Woshi Keru piloting the other mecha.
Wow, they just got
Ooh.
all the VIPs piloting these mecha.
I am going to use what is called electricity cannon.
Ouch.
Oh no.
And it is not a friendly thing. Let me get that technique up. Fire a bolt of electricity from your cannon at a target. Mark up to 2 energy, which is my fatigue equivalent. For each 1 energy that I mark, you must mark 3 fatigue.
What the heck?
Yes. And so I will mark both of those 2 energy,
No.
Ooh.
forcing you to mark 6 fatigue, Jingmin.
Wow.
I will mark 5 fatigue, but because I use steady stance, I negate the first condition inflicted on me each exchange.
It's
So I
condition or
will not-
fatigue, right? The first fatigue.
No, the first condition or negative status.
Okay. So, I see what you're saying. Because it spills over into condition.
because it spills over.
not mark that.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm tracking with you. So we have
And
filled up
stop
that
attacking
fatigue
me, and I'll
for
be
you.
fine.
Solutions,
That's
man.
insane. That's
It
insane
is.
that you just did that.
It is. So
I
they are
wanna
at
leave
3
now.
fatigue. Yep. We watch this eruption of energy come from Vivi, and we'll pair them together in this case. Vivi and Ikeru's mecha. And the beams converge on you, Jingmin. And for a moment, you are just consumed in blinding light and electricity. And when it stops, a clearly wounded version of you remains. Still in your stance, but tested to your very fiber of your being. And we have to close for tonight and see what happens
Wow.
next time on the last episode of Relics of the New Republic.
Oh my gosh.
We have some stuff to resolve, and we'll
Just a
try to
little
be
bit.
snippety snappy about it.
You just inflicted 6 fatigue on me in one technique.
You got to pull out the stops, you know?
Ouch. I felt that in real life.
You ignored
Thank you,
most of it, though, right?
Thanks so much for hanging out with us. If you haven't yet, please consider supporting us on Patreon. For those who do already, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And yeah, we're just excited to be doing this. I'm so grateful for what my players are doing, for the decisions they've made. We saw, I think, 2 perfect examples of a moment of balance today. So I couldn't be happier. And so far, we're all alive.
Somehow, we're still kicking
Yeah.
out.
There's always Friday.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh, no.
Everybody tune in on this Friday, the 21st. We will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.